I think showing up to the gym with good intentions is a good starting point, but it's not just how you show up to the gym. It's about creating a routine that works for you and that, you know, fits with your lifestyle, and that when you are in the gym, you know, you're thinking about what you want to achieve. And one thing I've noticed is, you know, the way I actually even get to the gym, whether I walk or drive, can actually have a massive impact on the way I train, the way I think about that training session. Now, this sort of first came around when I actually left my job, my 9-to-5 job. So there was about 3 years there when I was, you know, 21 to 24-ish, that I was working at the bank, okay? So I was leaving the bank at the same time, around 5 o'clock each and every day. I was either driving from the bank to the gym or I was walking. But nevertheless, at that stage, I had a routine which was, you know, I would finish at the exact same time. I'd be arriving to the gym at pretty much the same time. And I sort of knew that was coming. And it all sort of changed as when I went to Canada. So what happened when I went to Canada, obviously I was traveling for a few weeks before I got there, and then all of a sudden I was exposed to a new gym. I had different work requirements, so I didn't need to finish work at 5 o'clock. I was now working for myself, trying to establish that new company with Josh at the time, and that was a big change for me. I was no longer getting in my car at 5 o'clock and driving down to the gym to meet the guys. It was a complete change for me, which changed my mindset a lot when it came to training. So what I want to talk about today is what works really well for me, and you guys can take from it what you want. So what I really enjoy about being able to drive to the gym again is that time that I, you know, finish my work for the day. I can turn on some music. I can grab my pre-workout out of the fridge, whether that be a can of Monster or some whatever else I'm going to take that day, and I now know that I can go sit in the car, crank that music, have a nice relaxing drive to the gym, and just start to think about what I want to achieve in this next session. So one of the most important things for me is getting my stuff organised before it is time to leave. So generally what I'll do most mornings or around lunchtime is I'll actually take the time to make sure my bag is packed, that I don't need to think about anything before I actually leave. So if you guys are going to work at say 9 to 5, you might want to make sure your bag's packed for the next day's session the night before, or do it first thing before you go to work. Now obviously this is a very individual case by case basis, but just having that done early is just one less thing I need to think about. Now when I actually arrive to the gym, what I like to do is actually just sit in the car for a little bit and just start to think a little bit more, a little bit deeper about you know, what I want to do, like what is my intention for today, and not only just for today, but you know, what am I doing in the gym, what is my plan, why am I here? So that's the next thing I want to think about. Right, let's get into the gym now. Right, so we're at the gym now. We're obviously just coming out of the car now. Every day is going to be a little bit different. You're not really going to know who's here, what music's going to be on. So some of those things are out of our control. Like some people really like to train with a certain group. Sometimes you don't. Each to their own. But the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to walk in. I'm going to put my bag down, my training gear, next to the, say if I'm squatting today, it's going to be next to the squat rack. The squat rack that I want to use, I'm going to pretty much come and take ownership of it, okay? So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I've set it up to how I'm going to be using it. So say for today, I might be doing just competition squats, so I'll come in and I'll set both pins up. Alright, that's the first thing I'm going to do. Make sure I've got the bar that I want to use. Okay, is there anything else that I need? I want to make sure that's in my vicinity. So if I want to be rolling, if I want to be using bands, I want to make sure that they are around my squat rack so I don't have to venture outside of anything once I start actually warming up and starting or commencing the squat session. Okay, so that's the next thing I want to do. Now if I need to come in and there's people around, this is all going to be personality based. Definitely this part is, you know, I personally, I don't want to engage in conversation too much with someone. Of course I'm going to walk in, I might say, you know, hey Nick, how's it going? But I'm not going to really say much more than that. Like if I was to walk up to someone and even just say, hey Nick man, how's your day going? And he responds with some big spiel about the bad day he's had at work or something like that, it's probably not really the story I want to hear right before I come in for a squat session that I need to put a lot of focus into. So it's just taking away some of those variables. Obviously, you know, some people may come in and they want to talk to a whole lot of people, and that's completely fine. That, again, this is how you want to go about it. But this is just some things that I do from time to time, more than others, just to make sure that my training is consistent, reliable, and I've got a good train of thought for each and every session. So I think the last point I want to talk about is more of an individual one, and that's just, you know, what motivates you and what gets you through the session. So for a lot of people, you know, music or earphones are a big part of successful training. They get some sort of fulfillment or enjoyment of being able to just, you know, get into the zone, relax, listen to music, and, you know, whatever music makes you happy and gets you in that zone, that's completely up to you. You don't need to go with the norm and say it has to be rock. You know, I might chill out some sessions and just listen to Drake, but that's just me, and that's what's going to work for me. So of course that's not always the case, but you know, I feel that, you know, if there's music on that you don't like, that's probably going to have a negative impact. So, you know, that's when, you know, investing in things like headphones are going to be a better idea. And quickly also, while I'm on that subject, is, you know, when things cannot go your way, you know, how you respond to them can also be really, really crucial. I remember, you know, a number of years ago I would come in, and if it was the squat rack that I like to train in was taken, it would frustrate me to some degree, because I just had such a habit of going to that certain squat rack or that certain bar. But, you know, I think it was the great Ed Cohen said actually that, you know, it doesn't matter what gear you're using, you know, you've got to be prepared to adjust to the variables that can take place when you're training anywhere, anytime. Just to be in there doing the work, I think, is enough. So if you come in and someone's using your Alico bar and they've got the plates that you like, just suck it up and move on. You just go to the next rack, grab the next bar, grab whatever plate you can, and just be happy that you're in the gym training, doing what you love to do. And yeah, I hope you guys have taken something away from that.
Oh, what's up, Brett? How's your day going, bro?
Shut up, Nick.
Yo.
What's up, bro?
Oh, you forgot to sign in.
Bro, the champ doesn't sign in.